Доброго дня, це медіа-центр.
Good afternoon, this is Media Center Ukraine, Odessa. We are starting for today. We are going to have two online briefings. And the first one is the briefing of Čedomír Stojković, Serbian lawyer, head of the Octobar civic group, who filed a lawsuit against Wagner paramilitary group and Serbian and Russian officials who help recruit Serbs for the Russian-Ukrainian war in this illegal paramilitary group. Čedomír is already with us. I will switch to English because our briefing will be in English and we have two online streams in English and Ukrainian.
Hear me.
Hello. Good afternoon. Good morning, actually.
Yeah, good morning to you. Can you please tell us the latest news about your actions against private military company Wagner? What are you doing at the moment?
Well, actually, I filed a criminal complaint to the higher prosecutor in Belgrade, and because there was many of videos of internet that showing Serbian people in the war in Ukraine on the Russian side. So those situations conduct on and show us the reasonable doubt that somebody in Serbia actually recruiting Serbs for fighting for Russians in the war in Ukraine. My state is that higher prosecutor in Belgrade should investigate without us. But because he didn't, then we filed the criminal complaint, and by that we are demanding that he conduct criminal investigation. But he didn't. He rejected our criminal complaint in the record time, in the so urgent time, in just 4 working days, which is a situation that has never been seen before in Serbia.
Thanks. The first follow-up question is about those who you are trying to go to court against. In public, Serbian highest political command is against private military company, but there is also one of the head of Serbian intelligence service in your complaint in court. You possibly think that he somehow helps this private military company, and is it so? And are there many those who actually support Wagner in Serbian political highest command?
Well, I hope that I hear your question correctly because I have some interruption by the sound. If Serbian intelligence service work just 10% of how it should work, nobody from Serbia wouldn't have any chance to go to Ukraine in the war. Because to go there, you need to have some check in Serbia. Somebody will check that guy. Does he have enough level of health? How is he by psychological way? Does he fit in military at all? And after those checking, somebody will give him a ticket for Moscow, for example, I don't know, maybe some other city in Russia, pay him a trip. So all of those things, actually, I state that secret agents of Serbia needs to know. So if they do their work just 10% as they should, nobody from Serbia would be able to go there, and everybody who in Serbia who support, who organize, who help those people to go there will be under arrest. Because nobody is under arrest, then we know that intelligence service of Serbia does not work well, they do not do their job, and if so, somebody stop them, because those guys in Serbia intelligence service are professionals. They know things, they know everything, and they have to know who recruiting, when, how, who helping, who organizing. They know. I'm stating that they know. But if they do not make any arrests, then somebody stop them to do that. And who? Well, we know that the director of that intelligence service is Putin's guy. He is in very, very warm relations with Patrushev in Moscow. So that is the reason. And he is the reason, and because of that, we state he abused his position as director of Serbian intelligence service, and because of that, I filed criminal complaint.
Thanks. How do you think, how wide are activities of private military company Wagner in Serbia? What do they do, and how actively they try to recruit Serbian citizens to fight for Kremlin interests?
Well, first you need to know I'm not a member of intelligence service. So what I know, something is about what people say on the ground, and something is, normal analytics. So many extremistic or few leader of extremistic right-hand organization in Serbia was recently in Wagner Center in St. Petersburg as a guest. So what we need to know is that Wagner Group is not just a paramilitary organization, it is also para-intelligence organization. They collect intelligence, they collect information, and some of their job is secret. Everything we see tell us that they conduct their intelligence operation in Serbia through the leader of extremistic right-hand organization in Serbia. That is what we can see, because we saw that they are going to Wagner Center in St. Petersburg, but we need to know this, that there is many things that we cannot see. Who was there, and we don't know it was there. What kind of connections they have on the field. So my guessing and my state and my analytics showing that they are very well connected in Serbia with any kind of extremistic organization, and that those things can be coordinated and controlled only through Russian embassy from Belgrade. Russian embassy in Belgrade is huge. They have a staff and personnel that is unproportional big and high compared to other countries. There is no reason to have that much of personnel in small country as Serbia. So if there is many personnel like that, I guess they are doing that hybrid also things that they do through Serbia, creating propaganda, and also, but they also have they also are involved in that recruitation in Serbia.
The last question from me before I give mic to my colleagues in the hall is: yesterday you reported in European Parliament about European future of Serbia, and you mentioned Wagner also. Did you gain support from European partners in your efforts to fight with this private military company in Serbia? To fight its influence in Serbia.
Well, I can tell you this. In every corner of European Parliament, I find the great support for Ukraine. So European Parliament, which support Ukraine in that wonderful and great way, have very big interest to stop Wagner conducting operation in Serbia. Everybody was there very interesting to find out our situation in Serbia, but we need to know EU Parliament is primarily political organization, so they cannot conduct any kind of operation. But what they can do is to put that in reports, send to EU commissions, and make some political work to make pressure on Serbia to stop that operation in Belgrade. And I'm very sure that they will do right that.
Thanks. I'll give a mic to my colleagues for them to have questions, please.
Thank you.
At the beginning of your speech,
Time.
At the beginning of your speech, you mentioned about your claim to the General Prosecutor of Serbia, and that you also did not receive an answer, at least for now. We understand that the law activity envisages some clear wording. That's why I would like to ask you to quote what you had in your claim to the General Prosecutor of Serbia. So just to quote something from the document.
Paul, we get answer. Maybe we didn't understand each other. We get the answer of prosecutor in only 4 days. He said, there is no doubt that Wagner operates in Serbia. There is no doubt that that extremistic organization helped them. So and other. So never happened before that prosecutor in Serbia make that decision in only 4 days. If you have criminal complaint that somebody stole your wallet, you will get answer in I don't know 60, 90 days. That if they want to reject your complaint, the answer will be there in the 60, 90, maybe more days. But this is just in the 4 days. And we know if things are like that somebody instruct that prosecutor to reject our criminal complaint, to stop investigation. So prosecutor stop investigation in just 4 days. Never happened before in Serbia. And to answer to your question, we state, first of all, that there is reasonable doubt that members of Wagner Group conduct operation and recruitation in Serbia. This is the first statement. The second statement, there is a reasonable doubt that many people from extremistic organization help them with that. There is third statement from the criminal complaint. Russian ambassador Botsan-Kharchenko helped for that recruitation. How? On the website of the Russian embassy, there was a letter how to go to Russia, who to call, where to apply to go to the Russian military. So by Serbian law, giving advice to somebody how to become a member of foreign military organization in the war, it is a criminal offense. So we know that is a criminal offense. There was Russian ambassador did that publicly. That is criminal offense, but the prosecutor didn't do anything. The third or fourth statement, it was that the chief of Serbian intelligence service stopped investigation of Wagner Group, and actually 4 days after we submit that our criminal complaint, investigation was stopped also in prosecutor office. So, okay, guys, if there is nothing in Serbia, conduct investigation and show us that there is nothing. But what they did, they stopped investigation first on the level of intelligence service, and now they stop investigation on the prosecutor office.
Does it answer your question? Yes, there is a follow-up, please, Irina.
Я дякую. Тоді я продовжу.
Thank you. Then I would like to continue. So, there is the article in the national criminal legislation of Serbia that envisages the criminal responsibility for being involved in illegal paramilitary groups.
Just involving in a paramilitary group, it's not a criminal offense. But involving in armed conflict in foreign country, it is criminal offense. We saw many video materials where Serbs are on the front on Ukraine. So if that situation it is, that means this is criminal offense. So if I join, for example, if I join any army in the world, that is not criminal offense. But if I go to the war in any army, that is criminal offense.
Thanks. Next question, please.
Michael Ashura, Newsweek magazine. Can you clarify, are the Serbian citizens who are fighting in Ukraine on the Russian side, are they members of Wagner? Are they fighting with Wagner? Or are they fighting as part of the Russian army? And in addition, if they are with Wagner, are there Serbian citizens fighting with Wagner in any other places in the world? Central African Republic, Mali, Burkina Faso, just for example.
Let's answer for the second question. First, I don't have any information, are they in some other country fighting for Wagner, but I know that many citizens of Serbia were in the different paramilitary organization in the world, because from the war of the 19th in Serbia, many of them have a military and experience in the war. So probability that also Serbs was in Wagner is high, but I don't have any knowledge about that. So, first question, are they in Russian military or in Wagner? Well, there is in internet, we saw Serbs working for military of Russia, recruiting Serbs from Serbia, making video documentary movie about how the training of them looks like somewhere in Russia, and how look like when they are deported to Ukraine. So some of Serbian citizens are part of Russian military. But we also saw the video material where Serbs are also in uniform, but they are different uniform. They have no marks of official Russian military, and we think that is the Wagner. We have the reasonable doubt to think it is Wagner because we saw many people for Serbia, leaders of some organization going to headquarters of Wagner in St. Petersburg. So, but I also learned today that there is also another paramilitary organization in Russia. So maybe it's that. Maybe we should follow that trace also.
What's the name of the other paramilitary organization? And do you have any more information about that particular organization?
Sorry, can you repeat it? Something interrupted.
What's the name of that other paramilitary organization working in Russia? And do you have any further information about that paramilitary organization?
I just learned here in Brussels. I don't know the names, but that Minister Sergei Shoigu actually have some paramilitary organization, and that sorry, but I was, it was very, very tough day yesterday, but it didn't remember. I have some other tycoon oligarch from Russia also have his paramilitary organization, but I cannot provide you more information right now. I will look into it, and I will investigate also. I just learned that those things are actually there.
Thank you.
Can you please give the mic to next media? Thanks.
Union Agency. Do you have any data about the number of the Serbs fighting as a part of Wagner or other paramilitary groups in Russia? Perhaps you have some at least unofficial data. And who are these people? What are their jobs? Are these professional military or are these people from other areas who are retrained later? Thank you.
I don't have an exact number because exact number demands true investigation. I cannot conduct any investigation, serious investigation, as the private citizen. I need to be part of the state, to have authority, to have resources, and then I can conduct the investigation. But of course, it's not 1, 2, or 3 Serbs there. Also, I think there is not thousands of them. So the numbers is probably between, I don't know, 20, 30 until 200. But I cannot give you any information now about it. But even if one guy came from Serbia to Russia, it is huge, because not just in military sense. In military sense, in this scale of war, 1 or 200 personnel, I'm not sure how much it works. But in the propaganda way, in the influence through diplomacy, it's huge. By conducting operation in Serbia, Vladimir Putin actually shows to the world that he have some kind of control on Balkan, that he have some kind of control in the Europe, and through that, his capabilities to blackmail Europe rising. So that is the main reason, I guess, why he is conducting this operation. I forgot your second question. Sorry.
The question was about the profession, the occupation of those who are fighting for Wagner from Serbia. Are they professional military or other guys with military background from 90s, or are they just regular guys like construction workers, for example, who just switched to being military?
Unlike in 2014, when also was Serbs fighting for Russia in Ukraine, we changed our law in 2014 exactly because of those situations. In 2014, people from Serbia was going to Ukraine, fight for Russia, and we saw, okay, this is terrible. We need to stop that. We have public attention that was on the media all the time. Prosecutors stand up and say, who do that will go to jail. Parliament changed the law, and from then it's forbidden, it's criminal offense to do that. From 2000, that was situation 2014. And we saw in 2014 that people who was there in Ukraine was professionals, people with experience from the war, from the 90s in Balkan. But what we see today, it's totally opposite. First, there is no any public reaction in Serbia. I raised that public reaction. There is no action from prosecutor. I demand those reaction from prosecutor. And on those videos, we see younger people, like 25 years, maybe 30. Those people have no experience in the Balkans war. On one hand, and what we see on those videos, they are training to be part of infantry. Nobody from Serbia was training to be, I don't know, pilot or to be in some expensive equipment. They are all trainings to be infantry. That's what we see on video material, and that is what we have as information from people who have a little talk about it.
Thanks. Do you have one more? Yes, please.
Так, якщо можна, ваші подальші
If you allow, what are your next actions as of an investigator or lawyer? Are you going to address other bodies, perhaps international bodies or institutions? So what are your next plan with regard to the information that you have? And how do you plan to continue investigation?
What I want to do is to force my state to do the job. It's very hard because you need to understand Serbia is under political occupation of Vladimir Putin. And that's what I state here in Brussels. It's not a free country. It's free country like Russia, it's free country. So, but I want to put that pressure there. And I want to show to Europe that there is a reason why Serbia stops that investigation. So I'm going to go further, and I will address international body. Actually, I will address, first of all, the United Nations, because there is one part of the United Nations that you can address in the situation like this, when the state that does not conduct any operation to protect right of the citizen or to conduct investigation about some criminal offense. And of course, we will address Europe, and we will address, we can also address the court in Strasbourg, and we will do that. But we will, please understand this, there is many things in Serbia that needs our attention, that need our activism. There is not many of us, so we are split on the task about Wagner. We are also collecting humanitarian aids from Ukraine. We are fighting Russian propaganda. So, there is many tasks, many jobs, and I hope that we will write all those things during the months of February.
Thanks. I think we'll need to finish our briefing. I just have one final question for you about your other criminal complaint. My colleague told me that you came to court against Narodni Patrul, against those who made a mural about Wagner in Belgrade.
That's right.
And the prosecutor office denied to start a criminal investigation. What are you going to do with that? Are you going to appeal and to continue your efforts against them? And are there any updates on that issue?
That criminal complaint was also signed by the Ukrainian organization in Belgrade, because, of course, I'm in very warm and firm relationship with Ukrainian organizations in Serbia. So we signed that together. So the Ukrainians, not by mine, it's a simple fact. Ukrainians are damaged side by that mural. Ukrainians also formal national minority in Serbia. We had Ukrainians before war. We had Ukrainians here like hundreds of years ago. So it's national minority. So when they put the mural of the group that actually killing Ukrainians, It is the same thing if you, in the middle of, I don't know, somewhere in Europe, start to draw Hitler's signs or signs for Auschwitz for Jews. So the meaning of mural, that is our statement, the meaning of mural for Ukrainians, from Wagner mural for Ukrainians, is pretty much the same as Nazi symbol for symbols for Jews. So it is the speech, an act of hate, and by that it is criminal offense. We put that criminal complaint to the prosecutor. He also state, oh, this is not criminal, this is not hate. So I ask him, so is it the act of love? Is that mural means that somebody, that Wagner loves Ukrainians, you know? So as you see, it is a fighting. We have a difficult situation in Serbia, and we're fighting as we can, and also we continue to fight also that, and we will make complaint to the Strasbourg and to European Union, because Serbia need to get pressure from outside to change behavior.
Thanks. Thank you for your efforts and for being here with us. We will be glad to see you again online or offline if you visit Odessa to have updates on the activities and efforts you are doing against Wagner and Russian influence in Serbia. Thanks again for being with us.
I was in Kiev, in Kharkiv during the war, and I will be happy to visit Odessa.
We will be happy to see you here face to face. Have a nice day then, and good luck.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye. Briefing.
That was the briefing of the Serbian lawyer who fights the influence of the private military company of Wagner in Serbia. At noon, we are going to have the press officer of Kherson, Dmitro Platanchuk. We are still trying to contact him. We're not sure that the briefing will take place because of the shelling. There are connection issues in Kherson, but we hope that we will be able to have Dmitro online. So please stay tuned. We will inform you about the changes.